And good afternoon, race fans. Welcome here as we get set for the second race of the fourth season of the NCRA Duracell Cup Series. Getting ready to go racing here today at the Manasas Speedway. It is the third time that this track has appeared on a Duracell Cup Series schedule. And if yesterday's non-charter qualifying event is anything to go by, we are in for a heck of a race here today. 50 laps to be run and possibly a green flag pit stop somewhere in the middle of those 50 laps from now till the checkered flag. So that could be the deciding factor into who's going to victory lane here today and who is not. It's an all Toyota Camry front row though, as Ryan Butcher alongside of Cole Baker. Both of these drivers look for their first win of the season. For Ryan Butcher, he went the entirety of last year without a trip to victory lane, so he's on a bit of a winless streak stretching all the way back to Season 2. Cole Deaver will line up in third. He was a rookie last season, did not find victory lane. He's in for his second full-time season, looking for his first career checkered flag. Alongside of him, Zach Rogers in the 6, who was a multi-time winner, if memory serves me correctly, last season, looking for his first win, obviously, of this year also. Now, completing the top 5, we keep saying it. I'm going to keep on saying until we finally take a checkered flag. Adam Garcia, the only driver left in the field that has raced every single Duracell Cup Series race in his career, but is yet to take his first career checkered flag in over 3 seasons. Let's go down trackside, get those most famous words in motorsports as we're getting ready to have them roll off the grid here today in Manasas, Virginia.
Drivers, start your engines.
Check down in the description below for the official starting lineup for today's race here, the Virginia 200 at Manasas International Raceway, and you will notice that the drivers that transferred their way in through the non-charter race yesterday, I did make a little bit of a mistake in that race yesterday because I did not realize the fact that Chris Dollerton did not finish inside of the top 6, and so therefore he is using his second of 5 Champions Provisionals here today to start 42nd in the field, which means Adam Samsel, who finished 6th in yesterday's non-charter event, did not transfer into today's race. However, of the 5 drivers besides Chris Dollerton that did transfer in, none of them took part in the Daytona 500. So right now, based on the rookie points, whoever ends up winning Rookie of the Race here today, they will find themselves going into Las Vegas tied with Quentin Moore for the rookie points lead. Speaking of points, T Wright picking up his 3rd career win, but first ever in the Daytona 500 this season last week. Subsequently comes in the points leader, 6 points over runner-up finisher Mitchell Collins. K Mathews, Ryan Acosta, and Adam Garcia are your top 5. Then Michael Norman, Chris Dollerton, Jesse Turner, Levi McIntyre, and Carson Gum. That's the top 10 in points coming into today's race here at Manasas. Obviously, with only 1 race under our belts, the points are very close as the top 11 in the standings are only 15 points in separation. So a lot of drivers could move up, a lot of drivers could fall down in the point standings dependent on their runs here today in the second race of the season at Manasas. But Ryan Butcher on the bottom, Cole Baker on the top side, a couple of Toyota Camrys bring us down to the start-finish line, and we're green flag racing at Manasas. Let's roll in the Virginia 200. Like I said, yesterday's non-charter event going to be something we'll utilize as maybe a drawing board for today's race. Now, we saw them 3 wide through the field in that one, and we also saw them occasionally 4 wide. So will we see that here today as Cole Baker and Ryan Butcher going to settle it out on who leads the first lap? Looks like that Dollar General Toyota Camry is going to get the big run on the inside. Here comes Garcia, though. It's going to be Baker and Garcia who's going to lead the first lap of the day here at Manasas. Looks like Ford Power on the bottom is going to get Garcia the bonus point for leading the completion of the first lap. He had a Mustang behind him, and Levi McIntire's. Now William Brock Chevrolet drops down to the inside, along with a couple of other Chevy bow ties, Charles Belding and Jacob Thibodeaux. Mentioned that this track made its debut back in Season 2 of the Duracell Cup Series. T Wright, the defending winner from a week ago, was the inaugural winner here back in Season 2. Dylan Young, the defending winner in Season 3, as this was the first of 3 wins that he would pick up during the course of last season. As we're 3 wide for the lead, Brock on the top side, Belding in the middle, Jacob Thibodeaux down on the bottom, and he will clear for the top position. And there are our two former winners from Manasas there on the inside line. The Dr. Pepper, I don't even know what color you'd call that. Red? I guess it's red. Red Deuce of Dylan Young, and right behind him, that white and red Boy Scouts of America Ford Mustang that we saw in the Daytona 500 Victory Lane 1 week ago. As Jack Mitchell, last year's regular season champion, now going to move to the inside of Ryan Butcher. I think Butcher did lead that lap. Ticker says otherwise. Mitchell got him at the line. Thought maybe the pole sitter did get a lap led there, but nope, not the case. As now T Wright already has been to victory lane, now just trying to rack up bonus points and playoff points here. Of course, he comes in the points leader, and last year we ended up having Jack Mitchell, the regular season champion, get 10 bonus points towards the playoffs. That's what these drivers now, if you're T Wright, that's what you're trying to battle for now, is keep yourself up there at the top of the point standings. As Keith Batson going to lead a lap there in the Motorcraft Ford Mustang, and now they're 3 wide behind him. Chevy, Toyota, Ford with Rodriguez, Watson, and Wright. Looking back there at some of the non-charter drivers that transferred into this race, right now the highest run of them looks like it might be the 15 of Tristan Allen. He might be in the top 10 when we get to the line this time. If so, it's like just around the 10th position, perhaps. As Matthew Rodriguez to the inside of Keith Batson. Ooh, that was close. Who's the ticker going to give that one to? Looked like Batson to me. And I'm 0 for 2. It actually gave it to Rodriguez. Matthew Rodriguez talked about Ryan Butcher riding a winless streak stretching back to Season 2, while Matthew Rodriguez is riding a winless streak stretching back to Season 1. He only has one career win here in the Duracell Cup Series. That took place back at Arizona Speedway near the end of Season 1. It's another of our non-charter drivers right there, the Aris Toyota, number 70 of Samet Ozkan. As Cole Baker back on the inside line, he's kind of had to charge his way up to the front a couple of times here in only these first 7 laps. But he will get back out in front, and there's Western Motorsports driver Vince Almariego right behind him in the 42. Almariego, of course, moving on to a new team. He spent the last 2 seasons with Backmarker Motorsports. Found victory lane for the first time in his career at Pocono last season. Johnny Gardner right there behind him. Gardner's another driver riding a winless streak that goes back to Season 2 when he took a checkered flag at Dover. That's the last time he's been to victory lane. Phil Parker, second full-time season with Lake Effect Autosport. Now to his inside. Now looks to the inside of Vince Almariego for the race lead. He, like Cole Deaver, had some pretty promising runs as a rookie last season, but still looking for his first career checkered flag. And here comes a rookie here this season, Samet Ozkan. Going to move to the top position. And I believe if Samet Ozkan can lead this lap, he'll be the first rookie to have led a lap this season under green flag conditions, and he will. And now Jacob Thibodeaux going to move by him. Thibodeaux, a 2-time winner as a rookie last season. Daniel Voyles in the 63. He was the winner of last night's non-charter qualifying event here at Manasas, and he's now third on that inside line behind Jesse Turner in the 47, who now makes a move to the inside of the Bang Energy Dodge Challenger of Zach Rogers for the race lead. Turner is going to lead that lap. You look through the field, you can see them continually in 3 wide formations. I haven't seen anybody force the issue 4 wide just yet. There's the defending champion down there, Jordan Lopez in the 38. Started pole for the Daytona 500, but did not get the run he was looking for in the Great American Race, finishing 32nd. Just up ahead of him there is Chris Dollerton, the 83. Dollerton having to use his second of 5 championship provisionals here today. Used one for the 500 last week. Had a great run, though. Finished 7th. But he needs to really qualify his way into these events more than having to use his championship provisionals, because it's going to get to a point, if he doesn't qualify in the next 3 weeks, he's going to have to use up all of his championship provisionals. Then he has nothing to fall back on to make these main event races. Is now the inverted numbers, 83-38, side by side. Lopes going to get the edge here off of turn 4, it looks like, and he'll get himself a lap lead. Chris Dollerton knows the struggles that Jordan Lopes is facing here this season. Dollerton winning the Duracell Cup Series Championship back in Season 1 and then struggled in Season 2. We didn't see him for Season 3, and now he's back here for Season 4. And Dollerton's not been the only driver that has struggled in the follow-up season of winning a championship. In Season 2, Ryan Acosta, only 1 win on the season at Martinsville. He went on to win the championship at Homestead, and then last year, Ryan Acosta really struggled. Did not find victory lane at all last year. That's Carson Gum, J Gardner, Keith Batson. They'll make it 3 wide for the race lead. Whoa! We nearly had a wreck back there between teammates. Jordan Lopes tried to fit down in front of teammate T Wright. They're 4 wide for second place. They're leaning on each other too. Now we saw 4 wide in the non-charter event and they kept it together. Fortunately, the turns here are wide enough that they're able to give room. It looks like they'll do the same thing here. Everything settled out, but ooh, for a brief moment there, it looked like they were leaning on each other's doors. That was making me a little bit nervous. That's T Wright trying to take the race lead here, trying to go for back-to-back victories here to start the season. They were 4 wide back here again. M Haas stuck Jack Mitchell in the middle and put him up into R Brommer. Ooh, Daniel Voyles also going to make it 4 wide there. Mitchell trying to get back to the bottom, give room to the 9, and he will. Manasas is a speedway, but the way that they race, it reminds me an awful lot of a super speedway. It's not 100% the fundamentals of a super speedway, but just the fact that they're able to race 3 wide, several rows deep, and then 4 wide on occasion just reminds me a lot of a super speedway. I mean, these drivers, they're running over 190 miles per hour. They're carrying about 195 going into the corners and then backing down probably to around 186 through the center of the corner. So it certainly is super speedway type speeds, as now Benny Watson going to go to the inside here 3 wide on T Wright and Carson Gum. He's looking for the race lead now. It's a lot of drivers that had good runs to start out the season last week at Daytona, subsequently come into this race up inside the top 10 in points, but there's also other drivers that really struggled last week. Guys like Ryan Butcher, Vince Almariego, Carter Friesen, Keith Batson, Charles Sandfer, Matthew Rodriguez, J Millz. So those drivers, they're looking, if they can't win today, they want to at least finish up inside of the top 5, because as mentioned, it's early on in the season right now. The points are as close as they're going to be. And so if you can come away with a second, third place finish, that translates into about 10 to 15 spots you could gain in the point stands in just 1 week. As we're 3 wide for the lead here again, that's N Ormond going for the top spot now. The Holiday Inn number 45, and he's got his teammate right behind him in J Qualls in the 54. There's been some rumors this could be J Qualls' final Duracell Cup Series race, that he may be turning the reins of that 54 car over to somebody else heading into next week at Las Vegas and for the remainder of the season. Qualls saying that he's interested in stepping back into just a team owner role. So Daytona and Manasas may be the only 2 starts that Qualls is making. J Qualls, of course, a 2-time Duracell Cup Series winner and was in the Final 4 for the championship 1 year ago at Homestead Miami Speedway, coming off a career year. Zach Rogers back to the race lead, and this is the 3rd time that Rogers has been out in front in this race. Now Charles Belding, who took the checkers in the season finale at Homestead last year. He'd love to be able to get himself into his first playoff berth with a win here today at Manasas, but I'm looking here. I mean, we've had so much racing here and exchanging for the lead, and we're not even halfway through this race. That's one of the things about Manasas that really surprises me. It puts you into a kind of a trance, and you look down and realize that we've only run maybe half of the laps you've expected that we've actually run. I mean, right now, I would have thought that we've run about 30 laps or so. We haven't even completed 20. And remember, we ran 20 laps for the non-charter event. So we don't really know just how far these drivers can go on a tank of fuel, but I guarantee you they're going to have to pit at least once here before this race is over. So it's a question of when do they make that green flag pit stop. And maybe I just jinxed it right there. If we do remain green, as we're going to be 4 wide. Ryan Brommer put in the middle. Norman and Turner split him. Jordan Lopez down the bottom. Oh, gracious. Something happened back here. I don't know if they made contact or if someone slipped up, but Dollerton just gained a lot of positions. Might have been Jack Mitchell that got out of shape, as they're still 4 wide there with Rogers in the middle. He's going to get in front of his teammate Ryan Brommer. They settle it back out to 3 wide, and I'll tell you what's going to make me nervous. The fact that these drivers are all up each other's gearboxes trying to get to pit road. I mean, it's bad enough when you're a pack of race cars and you're trying to come to pit road at Daytona or Talladega in a group. We're going to be trying to do that here at a speedway off the high banking down to the flat apron, heading for the access road and the commitment cone at the entrance of pit road. Patrick Smith was out in front for a brief moment, but did not lead the lap. Chris Dollerton got him at the line, so Dollerton now out in front with Jack Mitchell behind him in second. Highest up that Austin LaPlante has been today, as he'll battle 3 wide for third with Vince Almariego and Patrick Smith. LaPlante, a 2-time winner last season, and we're going to be 4 wide again. This time it's Carson Gum, Cole Baker, LaPlante, and Smith going into turn 1. Ooh, Baker pushed up right there. But he clears LaPlante. Now Thibodeaux in the middle, and there's Tristan Allen on the bottom in the 15 car. Right now the highest running of the non-chartered machines. Trying to catch up there to his DCW Racing teammate Cole Baker in the 11. So we're past the threshold of how far drivers went in the non-charter event. So when do the pit stops begin? We may see them split this race right in half. Might see them all try and hit pit road here somewhere around lap 25. Some drivers, though, they'll probably try and stretch it a little bit further, try and take on a little bit less fuel load, make the cars a little bit lighter. Lighter usually means faster. As we're looking at Jose Millz there in the 98. Jose Millz, 34th at Daytona last week. Saw his Blue Oval Automotive teammate T Wright take the checkered flag. There's Charles Sandfer in the 03, who got not only his first but his second career Duracell Cup Series wins last season, winning at ISM and then later on during the playoffs at Boston. There's Matt Haas in the 8, the M&M's Pretzel Toyota Camry. 3rd full-time season, I believe it is, for him. Actually, it might be his 4th. I'm trying to remember if he was in Season 1. I think he was in Season 1. I think he was part of the, whatever that Chevrolet team was called back in the day. I can't remember what it is, but we got pit stops. And one of the non-charter drivers, and Samet Ozkan, is going to be the first one to lead this group onto pit road. Jordan Lopez, Matt Haas, Charles Sandfer in this group. James Qualls, Patrick Smith, pole sitter Ryan Butcher, Adam Garcia. Oh no! Jesse Turner into the pit wall. And T Wright, Daytona 500 winner, was involved as well. Cody Llamas has to come to a stop, waiting for the 47 to teleport. I'd forgotten about that on this particular track. Some drivers, if they come in too hot onto pit road, they're not able to get down onto the access road, and they hit that pit wall. And the caution, I believe, is out. Caution is out for that. So all these drivers are going to get the benefit of pitting under yellow, as I believe it was the Jesse Turner T Wright incident there that brought out the caution. So yellow flag waves at the halfway point here today at Manasas. And oh boy, Jesse Turner, who finished 8th in the Daytona 500, T Wright, who took the Daytona 500 trophy, are the two that are involved in this incident down at the pit road entry to put us under the caution for the first time today. So all those drivers that were just on pit road, that caution's actually going to save them, because as Cole Baker and company are going to come to pit lane here, they're going to get to stay out. And I think Samet Ozkan might be the first of those. I don't know if he's going to cycle around to the lead or if he's going to be trapped a lap down. All depends on how quickly drivers made their pit stops there under these green flag conditions before that caution came out. But here comes Baker, Dollarton, Carson Gum, the rest of these drivers onto pit road to make their pit stops. And we'll try and figure everything out of who is scored where when we come back for the restart. For now, let's go back and see what happened. Trouble for Jesse Turner trying to come down this pit road. High speeds and having to back it down to about, I think it's 55 miles per hour here for pit road speed. Let's go back and see what happened. Now, under most circumstances, this kind of a wreck being down off the racing surface would not constitute a caution. I think that the reason the caution came out, though, was for twofold. One, the 84 of Cody Llamas came to a dead stop, waiting for the 47 to refire the car, which he was unable to do. And secondly, this was only the first group of drivers coming down here for green flag pit stops. We were going to have other drivers coming down pit road as well, and so NNSCRA officials, uncertain if we were going to end up having the 47 teleport in time, had to throw the yellow to avoid other drivers come flying in and hitting the 47 car. You saw right there. Now, to me, it almost looked like, now Turner, yes, did have Phil Parker and K Mathews to drivers left. You see the flagman back there indicating pit road is closed as soon as the 47 went up in the air. T Wright there in the 28 also with a lot of front end damage, but it almost looked like Jesse Turner, he had his right sides in the grass, and that might have actually forced the car to not be able to turn and turned it into the right, into that pit road wall, because it really looked to me like K Mathews had given the 47 enough room to get back onto the racing surface there of the access road should he have chosen to. We'll take another camera angle look and see if I'm correct, but I believe having his right sides in the grass was what kind of led to him hitting that pit wall, because there's no grip in the grass. You got two tires on the asphalt, two tires in the grass. That car's going to kind of almost spin into the direction of where the tires in the grass are. I mean, watch this again. Phil Parker, his teammate, is the car to his outside, or his inside, I should say, at this point. You see right there, all the cars kind of turn a bit to the right. And right here, I mean, he's in the grass. There's no way he can probably, on a dime, turn that car back to the left. And T Wright was right behind him, and just no way he was able to slow down. Cody Llamas, though, in the 84, I would assume that he probably would fall a lap down just based on the fact he had to stop and wait for the 47 to teleport. So that's a tough break there for Cody Llamas being behind this. And with him being there, that, like I said, that could also be a reason why the caution was thrown. The fact that Cody Llamas would be considered oncoming traffic with a car like Jesse Turner's coming from about 55 miles per hour to a dead stop right in front of him, constituting the yellow flag being thrown as well. But two drivers involved in this one, Turner and Wright, both who had top 10 runs in the Daytona 500 1 week ago. Of course, T Wright coming in the points leader. Let's go back for the green flag, as these drivers should be good to go the rest of the way on fuel here at Manasas. Well, the timing of that caution was good for some, not so good for others, and those drivers that would fall into that category would be those that were all on pit road there just before the caution came out. You're looking at the 70 of Samet Ozkan, who was the first on pit road. Well, he is stuck behind the pace car, but he did pass Cole Baker when he, Dollarton, and others all came to pit road. So right now, the 70 is scored 26th on the tail end of the lead lap. Same for Jordan Lopez, Matt Haas, Ryan Butcher, Charles Sandfer, Patrick Smith, Ryan Acosta, Adam Garcia, Mitchell Collins, Keith Batson, Charles Belding, James Qualls, Phil Parker, K Mathews, and Cody Llamas. That is 26th back through 40th, all on the tail end of the lead lap. Cole Baker is going to be the race leader when we go back green. He's going to have this traffic to deal with ahead of him, as he'll be the race leader over Chris Dollarton. Then third place will be Carson Gum, Jack Mitchell in fourth, Tristan Allen fifth. Sixth will be Benny Watson, seventh Justin Dearborn. First time we mentioned that non-charter driver's name today. Eighth Matthew Rodriguez, ninth for Michael Norman. And completing the top 10 is going to be Ryan Brommer. Getting ready to go back green here as the lights were out atop the pace car. Not sure why these drivers all slowed up for a brief moment there. So Samet Ozkan's going to be the one to take the green. However, Cole Baker's going to be the one to take it as the race leader. After the incident, though, 2 drivers out of the race, T Wright and Jesse Turner, will finish 41st and 42nd. Green flag is out as we've got a total of 21 laps to go. That's within the fuel window that everybody should be able to make it the rest of the way. So for all these guys up here ahead of this battle for the lead between Baker and Dollerton, they're hoping and praying for another quick caution to come out so they can get back at the tail end of the longest line. And they're certainly going to play a factor into maybe the outcome of this race as well with the lead lap cars that are right behind them. As Dollerton's going to clear for the lead. Now, I got to mention, I talked about this, I think, last week in the Daytona 500, that NNSCRA has made a special situation, if you will, for non-charter drivers, because we have 6 non-charter drivers make the races each and every week. What if one of them goes to victory lane? Well, with Chris Dollerton out in front here, we should probably bring that situation to the forefront and let you guys know what the situation is. Now, we know that for the charter drivers, in order to make the playoffs, you have to obviously have a win and be up in the top 30 in the point standings. However, for the non-charter drivers, if you go to victory lane, what you have to make sure you do is make at least 10 starts during the regular season. And that's 10 points-paying starts. If you do so and have a trip to victory lane, you qualify for a playoff spot. So Chris Dollerton, if he were to go to victory lane here today, he would just have to make sure that he makes 8 more main event races here during the course of this regular season, and he would be in contention to battle for his 2nd Duracell Cup Series championship. Now, the question of why would the non-charter drivers get a little bit more of a special privilege than the charter drivers, and, well, that sentence basically just said it all. The charter drivers get to make every single race every single week. So they've got, 26 chances to go to victory lane. The non-charter drivers, it all depends on whether they qualify their way in or not. Now, yes, Chris Dollerton has the 5 championship divisionals that allow him to be able to make it into the first 5 races. Some may find that as a bit of an unfair advantage, but hey, he won the championship back in season 1. He's entitled to a privilege of that type. And right now, he is leading here at Manasas, but right behind him, Cole Baker and Carson Gum have been able to clear themselves of the traffic as well. And now Carson Gum, Cole Baker, Chris Dollerton, they may be 3 wide for the lead going down here into turn 1. They will. Charles Sandfer right there in the 0-3. He is now a lap down. It's going to be difficult to differentiate the cars that are a lap down and cars that are on the lead lap. And you know the whole rumor we've got about J Qualls possibly not being in the 54 next week at Las Vegas? What if he goes to victory lane here today? Actually, no, I'm sorry. He's a lap down. I thought he was on the lead lap. Who's the next lead lap car we got up here towards the front? I think it might be the 75 of Benny Watson. So right now it's Baker, Gum, and Dollerton. Charles Sandfer going to try and get his lap back the hard way here. Here comes that 75 of Watson on the inside. And then you got Jack Mitchell and Ryan Brommer would be the next 2 that are on the lead lap. Right now, Carson Gum in that 19 has the race lead, though. 3 wide for 2nd between Watson, Baker, and Dollerton. I know it's probably difficult for you guys. It is for me as well. You got to look up at the top left at our ticker here to see who really are the lead lap cars as opposed to the lap cars that they're racing around. As here is a battle for the lead. Watson going to get to the left rear quarter panel of Carson Gum. Gum's going to lead this lap, though. Watson in the middle. Jack Mitchell right there as well on the lead lap in that McDonald's Chevrolet as Carson Gum continues to hold the top spot, but here comes Watson on the bottom. Matt Haas and Jordan Lopez just unlapped themselves. Charles Sandfer up the middle trying to do the same as Watson will take the race lead away from Carson Gum heading into turn 3. Looking at other drivers that are on the lead lap back there. How about Levi McIntyre? 8th place for the 99. Pedro Lucas, non-charter driver, now up here in the top 10 and 9th. And the defending winner of this race from 1 year ago, Dylan Young, has now popped up into the top 10. These 4 cars you see right here, 75, 9, 0, 1, 33, their lead lap cars, and the 99 of Levi McIntyre. That's your top 5 at this point in time. As now Ryan Brommer looks for the race lead on Benny Watson. Watson took the first checkered flag of the season in the non-points event in the Clash. And now Jacob Thibodeaux diving down to the inside. We're actually going to be going next week to the track where Jacob Thibodeaux got his first career win. That was last year's third race of the season, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And he's looking for career win number 3 and first of the season here today at Manasas. As here comes the defending winner of the race, though, Dylan Young, 1 season ago. Took the checkered flag here. Hoping that lightning strikes twice. Right behind him, J Millz, who was also on the lead lap. So too is the 15 of Tristan Allen, and I believe Michael Norman in the 18 is also on the lead lap. He's now just cracked the top 5, battling side by side with Levi McIntyre for what I believe is that 5th position. Matthew Rodriguez in the 57 right there as well. He's also on the lead lap. As they are continuing to race back there. I mean, right now we've got races within the race. We've got drivers that are a lap down battling for positions. Highest they can finish right now is around 26th. Now you got drivers up here that are battling for the race lead, potentially the race win, as we still haven't closed in on 10 laps to go yet, though. J Millz now dives to the inside of Dylan Young. 3 wide behind them. The position is for 3rd between Matthew Rodriguez and Michael Norman. Lap machine of K Batson up on the top side. V Almariego right back there as well in the 42. Also a car on the lead lap in the conversation for this win. And how about Justin Dearborn in the 07? You see his purple and white 07 car back there. J Millz right now your race leader, team owner of that car. Last week, one of the Millz Motorsports cars made the Daytona 500 in the form of Laura Chung. Second car made the race here this week, and Justin Dearborn were 4 wide. Lap machines and lead lap cars in that mix. Lopez and Batson are both a lap down. Mitchell and Young are on the lead lap as Matthew Rodriguez and the Flat Out Racing Network Chevrolet Camaro forges out to the lead. V Almariego right there to battle for that lead, though, now going into turn 3. And there's Dearborn in the 07. Right there as well. It's been difficult for drivers to hold the race lead, but if one driver has been able to fight his way back up to the front as a constant here today, it would be our outside pole sitter, Cole Baker, and he's back there again, now in the 5th position. There you see him, that black and yellow Dollar General Toyota Camry, following in the tire tracks of rookie Justin Dearborn. Baker may have the strongest car of the day. Ryan Butcher, the pole sitter, up here towards the front, but he was trapped a lap down due to that untimely caution. Tough break for him there as he follows behind his teammate Patrick Smith, both of them a lap down. Cole Baker has taken the lead. So he'll cross the line as the leader. Jordan Lopez trying to unlap himself, but Baker's going to get by him. So now who's the next lead lap car to maybe challenge Baker for the top spot? I'm looking back and it looks like it could possibly be, I think it would end up being the 98 of J Millz is right now the highest running. Well, actually, no, it'd be the 42 of V Almariego. But then who would be next? There's a lot of lap cars between Cole Baker and the lead lap cars. Maybe is Ryan Acosta on the lead lap? No, he is not. Could be this guy right here, Pedro Lucas, who's about to battle with V Almariego for the 2nd position. And now Baker just got kicked up to the outside line. So 41, the 42, the 57, trying to get around the 11, who's trapped up in that 3rd lane. And it'll be 6 laps to go this next time by. Right now, Ozcon, Garcia, Acosta would be on the lead lap. Should a caution fall right now. But Pedro Lucas has taken the lead from Cole Baker. Now it is he and Matthew Rodriguez to battle it out for the top spot. Rodriguez gets moved to the middle groove. Next car that's on the lead lap on that inside line is the 83 of Chris Dollerton. Talked about Pedro Lucas. As far as the non-chartered drivers, their situation, if Lucas were to win here today, he'd have to make 9 more regular season points-paying main event starts. And he would be eligible for a playoff position as a rookie. As now Dollerton 3 wide with Qualls and Lucas. Dollarton goes back to the lead. Dylan Young right there in the 2 car as well. Still a long ways to go in this one. There's a couple of other drivers back there that we haven't talked about since the beginning stages of this race that are on the lead lap. Still might have something to say about this. I'm looking at that 91 of Charles Belding, I believe, is on the lead lap. No, he's not. Nope. Correction. He is not on the lead lap. Let's see who else back here we haven't talked about that might be able to get up there. How about Levi McIntire? That's a driver that's on the lead lap. Ooh, how many cars have we got on the lead lap right now? We've got 16 cars currently on the lead lap, it's telling me. Actually, we got more than that. We do have more drivers on the lead lap that have lost the draft, apparently. I want to drop back there, see what's going on with William Brock, Cole Deaver, and others. Yeah, they're all in their second little group here. I don't know what's going on here, but they're all in the lead lap. Johnny Gardner, Zach Rogers, Cole Deaver, Austin LaPlante, Carter Friesen, N Ormond, William Brock, Daniel Voyles, and Jessica Shelton. So we're about 16th back to 25th. I don't know how they got split up from the rest of the field, but they did. Chris Dollarton still out in front. Matthew Rodriguez now side by side with Dylan Young. That is the battle for second. Levi McIntire has now moved up to 4th. Benny Watson right now in 5th. Ryan Brommer currently in 6th. That's your lead lap cars that are in the vicinity of battling for this race lead. Jack Mitchell now there as well as Jacob Thibodeaux. They would currently be in 8th and 9th as they run. Samet Ozkan, right now the kind of the meat in the sandwich right now, the lap car between the 2 lead lap cars of Dollarton and Young, as Young's going to dive to the inside of Ozkan, try and take that position. It's not for position on track, but it is for track position to get himself up there onto the back bumper of Chris Dollarton. It's going to be white flag this next time by, and right now it looks like we got 3 drivers to duke it out for the win. Former champion Chris Dollarton, defending winner of this race Dylan Young, and Matthew Rodriguez, who is riding a long winless streak. Who's going to be taking the checkers one more lap from now? White flag in the air for the 83 of Chris Dollarton. Rodriguez to the inside of Dylan Young for second. Can he clear the 2 car and make a challenge on Dollarton here down the back straightaway into 3? I think he's got him cleared. Matthew Rodriguez looking for his first win since season 1. Dollarton trying to get himself into the chase to battle for the championship for the second time in his career. It's going to be these 2 off of turn 4. Rodriguez looking for a run. He can't quite get there. Chris Dollarton is going to get his first win of the season. He'll take the checkered flag at Manasas. A non-chartered driver who started this race from dead last due to having to get in through his second championship provisional of the season. And Chris Dollarton could very well be on the road as a non-chartered machine of trying to become a 2-time Duracell Cup Series champion. He's now with today made 2 main event starts. He's guaranteed to make at least 3 more with 3 more championship provisionals at his disposal. If he can make 5 more main event starts outside of that, he is in the running for a playoff spot. How about that? Holy cow. Did anybody else see that coming? Because I certainly didn't. Non-chartered driver from 42nd to the win, Chris Dollarton. Matthew Rodriguez so close to picking up his second career checkered flag after the long winless streak we've talked about. The streak will continue, however, for at least another week. Dylan Young, 1 year ago, took the checkered flag here, finishes podium in 3rd with Ryan Brommer and Jacob Thibodeaux completing your top 5. Benny Watson, Vince Almariego, Jack Mitchell, Levi McIntire, and Michael Norman. That was your top 10. And then of the drivers that finished really up here in the lead pack that were still on the lead lap, Carson Gum 11th, Pedro Lucas. Great run for him there in 12th. I believe he gets rookie of the race here today. Tristan Allen right behind him, though, in 13th. It's a good run for both of those rookies, as Jose Millz was 14th, Cole Baker 15th, Justin Dearborn, another rookie with a good run in 16th. Now the rest of the cars that finished on the lead lap were Friesen, Rogers, Deaver, Voyles, Brock, Gardner, Shelton, LaPlante, and Ormond, but they all finished way back, and I'm really not sure what it was that caused them to finish as far back as they did from the lead pack. Drivers that were trapped a lap down due to the untimely timing of that caution coming out just after they had just been on pit road from Samet Ozkan on down, and some of the drivers that really jump out at you. Obviously, Jordan Lopez, we talked about the struggles he had at Daytona last week coming off the championship. Not the best of runs here today, again with a 27th place run. Mitchell Collins, second in the points coming into this race in 30th. And of course, the points leader and defending Daytona 500 winner T Wright finishing out of the race along with Jesse Turner. The two of them getting into each other there at pit road entrance around the midway point of this race, bringing out our first and only caution of the day. But Chris Dollerton, who finished last week in the top 10 at Daytona, finishes P1 here today at Manasas. And again, based off of the rulings for the non-charter drivers, he just has to make 8 more main event starts here this season, and he would be into the playoffs to battle for the championship, try to be a multi-time Duracell Cup Series champion after taking the championship back in Season 1. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this may actually only be Dollerton's second career win as well. He only had one career win, I think it was coming into this race. That was back in Season 1 at Fuel Motorsports Park. So how ironic is it that it's only his second career win, and we're into our 4th season of the Duracell Cup Series, and he is a former Duracell Cup Series champion. But wow, what a crazy race here today at Manasas in the Virginia 200. Chris Dollerton, 2 races in, and a non-charter driver takes a checkered flag. Probably a good thing that I mentioned the non-charter rule here today. I was not expecting we were going to have a non-charter driver win, but now we know that Chris Dollerton has a chance to be in this season's playoffs. But that's going to do it here from Manasas. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. What a wild finish as Dollerton takes his first checkered flag of the season. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We have shown you full feature results. These are what your point standings look like heading into next week's race, as we will be at the 1.5 mile Las Vegas Motor Speedway for more high-speed speedway action. Until then, I've been Seth Cole. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. Thank you for tuning in today's race here at Manasas. Chris Dollerton is your winner from back to front, taking the checkered flag in the Virginia 200. We'll see you guys next week.